Our Dale Ostrander spoke with neighbors in the Central New York community following this incident, asking if they feel safe going back to the mall.
There are some people in the community that are scared. There are others, however, who are used to the violence at the mall, saying the shot fired at Destiny USA won't stop them from going back. A shot-fired incident that led to Destiny USA closing its doors Friday evening isn't stopping some shoppers like Francesca Prosonic from heading back to the mall as soon as it reopened Saturday morning.
You risk yourself walking into a bank, you risk yourself walking into anywhere. Nobody's going to scare me into not doing something. If I need to go there, I'm going to go there.
The mall has its fair share of violent incidents. There were multiple violent incidents that took place last year at Destiny USA, including one in March when Julie Boeheim was robbed at gunpoint by a 12-year-old child in one of the parking lots. Some people aren't as open to going back to the mall and will take some time as they don't feel completely safe.
I definitely think it's scary, but I feel like it might deter me from not going there, at least like in the near future, but maybe like once they change things, I feel like maybe.
Mayor Ben Walsh tweeted that until federal government gets serious about passing gun laws, these type of incidents will continue to plague our community. I took that statement to a neighbor in our community.
What are your thoughts on this statement?
I think the federal government has been more than serious with gun laws. I think they need to start enforcing the laws that they have on the books. I think they need to enforce our gun laws more strictly. Put the criminals behind bars where they belong.
With the repeated violent incident taking place, Prosonic does understand why some people would resort to shopping online.
It's less people shopping locally, it's more people shopping, online because they don't want to be in that situation.
Syracuse Police are still actively searching for the suspect in yesterday's incident. We reached out to Destiny USA for a comment on the incident and have not heard back from them yet.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Sunday. I am joined this morning by Lieutenant Matthew Malinowski from the Syracuse Police Department. How are you this morning, Matthew?
Good morning. Not just any Sunday, but Green Beer Sunday.
Green Beer Sunday. Had to wear my green for the occasion.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about how the police department has been preparing for such a big partying event.
Yeah, it's a great event. The Coleman family does a great job up there. Every year, get a great turnout. We're aware of it. We'll have officers working up there. Like any event we say, just be safe, careful with the drinking, and just plan ahead. A lot of times where people go wrong is that they think they're okay to drive, but as you keep drinking, your decision-making process gets a little bit impacted by that. So even though you may think you're good, you're probably not. So it's better to avoid all those costs and penalties with a DWI and just plan ahead.
Right, and will there be more patrols on the streets in the Tipperary Hill neighborhood?
Yeah, usually we have a detail that is right around the bar, and then we're aware that that's going on. And then obviously this is a good warm-up for us because the best day of the year is Parade Day.
Of course.
And that's coming up, so we'll be ready for that as well.
The officers this week that resigned from their positions, can you talk a little bit about how that has affected morale in the police department?
Yeah, I'll say it's definitely unfortunate when we see this happen with a police officer. I know we expect perfection from the police officers, but we still have to remember at the end of the day, we are human, and even though we expect them to be perfect, you're going to have cases where sometimes mistakes are made, or in rare cases, bad things happen. I think the most important thing, though, is there's accountability. That's where we can still have trust with our community. I think that happened in this case. And I really don't want, the actions of those few officers to reflect the overwhelming majority of the whole department that continues to go to work every day, does the right thing, does the hard work, and gets the criminals off the street, try to make the streets safer.
And the DA said that this really shows that no officer is above the law. You would agree with that in this instance?
Yep. That's the one thing we always hear is that they want accountability. That happened in this case. I know people want it to be a lot quicker, but we have to remember that the officers have due process. These investigations take a while, just like any other investigation, and you have to still interview all those involved, check camera, witnesses, things like that. But again, at the end of the day, there was accountability in this case. And again, if an officer makes that terrible of a mistake where we have to, it would happen again.
And these were young officers. So what's your message to any young officer out there or prospective officer as they head into recruitment?
Well, I'd say, if you come to work with the right attitude, everything you do is based off of your training and experience, you're not going to have a problem. If you make a mistake, own up to it. But if you do, like I said, intentionally commit a bad act, for the chiefs that we have now, there will be some level of accountability. And I think that's fair as a profession because we do have, a lot of power as the police, so it's important that we're held to the highest standard.
Absolutely. And there is someone going around. We have referred to him as Gutter Guy.
Yeah.
I think the community also does.
Yep.
And we are not as sure about some of the details of this individual, but have you learned anything about him within the last couple of days?
Sure. So if porch pirates weren't bad enough, now we have Gutter Guy. The basic concept is they're going to come to your house, promise some sort of service, whether it's shoveling your driveway, cleaning out your gutters, take the money, and never return. It's important, though, that people are calling 911 if this happens. So even though we've heard a lot of this stir on social media, and I know you guys are getting called, if people don't call 911, then we don't know about it, and we're not able to investigate. So we are saying if this person is going around and scamming, we need to know about it. Just be aware that it's happening. So if you're going to do business, make sure it's a reliable company. The other thing, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And then let's really look out for our elders, because they're the ones that are getting scammed the most or taking advantage of, because they can't go clean their gutter, they can't shovel their driveway. So again, keep an eye on your elderly neighbors and relatives, and I think, please let us know who this guy is and we can bring him to justice.
Very good advice, obviously, for people out in the community. And bringing it back to Green Bear Sunday, are you going to Green Bear Sunday?
I'm going to try to stop out there. I look at it as a community event, so yeah, I'll be out there. So hopefully everyone comes out and supports. I think it's a great cause. It's definitely unique to Syracuse, I feel. So maybe I'll see you guys there too.
Absolutely, and we've got to be safe and stay warm out there. We've got to bundle up. We've got some cold weather today, and thank you so much for joining us, Lieutenant Malinowski.
Of course. Thank you, and have a safe week, everyone.
For abuse violence.
Carjackings are a big topic because those are out of control. 7 News just learned that one involved a 15-year-old who tried carjacking an elderly woman on her way for cancer treatment. 7 News DC Bureau Chief Sam Ford joining us live in Northwest with the details of today's crime. It's getting out of hand, Sam.
Yes, indeed, Jonathan. Well, as we speak, a virtual hearing of the D.C. Council is going on, and speaking, the person that they are questioning is the D.C.'s new Attorney General Brian Schwab, and among the topics is carjacking. And today, we met a would-be victim of a carjacker. It all happened last Friday.
Next thing I know, he walked up talking about, "Give me your keys, I got a gun." And I said, "Baby, you better shoot me because you're not taking my car today."
She declined to be seen, but is known in her 22nd Street Southeast neighborhood as Grandma, on her way to chemo last Friday when a 15-year-old tried to carjack her. MPD stats show 82 carjackings so far this year, 63% involving guns and just 14 arrests. Juvenile carjackings was a big part of the virtual council hearing. The Attorney General spoke late. Earlier, the new Deputy Mayor for Public Safety seemed to criticize juvenile prosecutors and courts for fewer commitments to incarceration for crimes.
Increases in some critical categories like carjacking or otherwise, but we have not seen a corresponding increase in commitment.
Is it finger pointing to say you all should have committed more juveniles who are breaking the law?
He pushed me to the door and I got up and I grabbed him and was hitting his ass and hitting him and fighting him. And I said, "You're not going to take my car, youngin'."
Grandma said when she screamed, a grandson and neighbors came running.
And they all came out to help me, and he ran across the street, and that's when they caught him.
So the neighbors caught him?
Yes, they caught him. And I said, "Oh, you going to jail today."
Police came. Grandma showed us the scar from the teen snatching her keys. The police report said the would-be carjacker left in an ambulance. Grandma said she's told he's now in lockup.
On 22nd Street, he must didn't know where he was.
And so this did not count among the carjackings because it didn't actually take place. The grandma said that despite the teens saying that he had a gun, she said she did not believe he had a gun, and police did not recover a weapon. Reporting live from Northwest Washington, I'm Sam Ford, 7 News.
Sam, thanks. And a D.C. council member just introduced a new bill to recruit new police officers. Vincent Gray wants to increase the number of officers to 4,200. Currently, there are more than 3,300 officers on the force. Now, Gray's bill would raise retirement bonuses, restore collective bargaining rights, and boost recruitment and retention incentives. Now, during that city council meeting today, the deputy mayor for public safety said Mayor Bowser's goal is to staff MPD with 4,000 officers.